It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amadu, and tonight I'm here with
Eno Safo.
Coming up over the next 90 minutes, UK-based research organization Fitch Solutions predicts 54% win for Ghana's opposition leader John Dramani Mahama in the 2024 December general elections. We'll be analyzing the report for you here on Eyewitness News. Also coming up and still related to politics, the People's National Convention, PNC, has taken the PNP to the Electoral Commission, demanding that the party not be registered because it would affect the chances of the Kube party. And later on Eyewitness News, we take you to the Ashanti region where the chief of Nahinsu has for the second time been arrested by the police in Asukwa. And the issue is that he was engaged in filling a wetland in the area. He says he was fixing the road. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
Bank of Ghana successfully raises 1.5 billion in its 56-day issuance.
That's in 50 minutes from the Citi Business Desk. Eyewitness News is live across Ghana on a number of affiliate stations, including in the Upper West region on Tungsung 97.3 FM in Wa and Jirapa 96.1 FM in Jirapa. In Upper East, we are on Quality 88.7 FM in Garu. We are in the Northern region on Radio Bimbila 91.9 FM. In the Volta region, we are on Revival 99.3 FM in Tajevu and VOV Radio 95.7 in Hohwe. In the Ashanti region, we are on Focus 94.3 FM in Kumasi and Orange 107.9 FM also in Kumasi. In the Bono region, we are on Greener 95.9 in Sunyani. In the Western region, we are on Adwinpa 100.7 FM in Takwa, Sky Power 93.5 FM in Takrady, and Beach 105.5 FM also in Takrady. The show is interactive. Join us on WhatsApp 0549 986 996. You can also go on Twitter, now known as X, and send your messages there at Umaru Sanda is the handle. You can use at Citi973 and add the hashtag Citi Eyewitness News when you send your messages. Alternatively, go on YouTube. We are streaming live and also on Facebook. Let's start off with polling and the elections of 2024 here in the Republic of Ghana. NDC in a strong position to win 2024 polls. Fitch Solutions. This is a story on citinewsroom.com published today, July 18, 2024. It has a photo of John Dramani Mahama in white and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia in white, both shaking hands as Johnson Asedu Nketia, chairman of the NDC, looks on. The story reads, an international research and data firm, Fitch Solutions, has predicted a win for John Mahama and the NDC in the 2024 general elections in December. The London-based firm, which has been consistent with its forecast since last year, argues that 54% of respondents surveyed tipped the former president as a winner in the upcoming presidential election. Fitch Solutions, in its mid-year review for Sub-Saharan Africa, explained that the current state of the economy will play a significant role in the choice of voters on December 7. Mike Kriniger, who is an associate director of country risk at Fitch Solutions, said, quote, "We believe that the opposition National Democratic Congress, NDC, has a stronger chance of winning the upcoming general elections compared to the ruling New Patriotic Party, NPP. Recent polls consistently place the NDC ahead, with the most recent survey showing 54% of respondents favoring the NDC, unquote," he said. The story continues. He continued by saying that voters' decision about whom to support will be heavily influenced by issues like job creation and economic management, among others. This, according to him, will put the NPP at a disadvantage given the current economic hardship. Another quote, "In addition, multiple surveys have shown that economic management and job creation are going to be the most important issues during the election of voters, which we believe will put the ruling NPP at a disadvantage given the economic challenges that the country has faced over the last couple of years," end quote. So that's the story that we have on our website. Let's get reactions from the actors who would be affected in one way or the other from this particular prediction. Felix Kwachiof also served as a deputy minister in the Mahama government. Currently, he's an aide to the former president, and he's also the NDC, parliamentary candidate for Abra Asebu Kwamankesi in the Central Region. You're welcome to Eyewitness News, sir.
Well, thank you, Maru.
How do you receive news like this one, which is predicting your candidates in a comfortable lead? credit to the one who first said it in 2016.
And I think that everybody knows that it has been clear.
Forgive me, Mr. Kwame, but I don't know if you can do anything about your traffic indicator. It's really disruptive.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so
yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Please proceed.
Okay, yeah, I was making the point that it has been quite clear since the very beginning of this electoral cycle that the NDC is on its way to victory. And these polls only confirm what we know already, because multiple polls held by different actors have given the same outcome. And it suggests that while the Ghanaian people agree with our message of hope and our message which seeks to restore health to the economy, which has been completely destroyed and shattered by Bawumia and his colleagues in the economic management team. Secondly, it also shows that voters agree with the NDC's perspective on the management of the country as a whole and the management of the economy in particular. Because to the extent that every election is a referendum on the performance of the incumbent, it stands to reason that if Bawumia and his charges in the MPP have delivered the worst ever governance in our country's recent history, then voters were always going to punish them at the polls. So it has not come as a surprise at the end of the day, that these polls are showing that the NDC is on this way to victory. But for us, it provides encouragement only. It is by no means an end in itself, and it is not going to occasion any form of complacency whatsoever in us. We will approach the elections as if we were unaware of these polls and continue to carry our message of hope and sell the many policies, the over 70 or so different policy proposals, amongst them the 24-hour economy, the proposals on employment creation, like the 1 million coders program, the establishment of a National Women's Development Bank to advance credit to our women folk who engage in trading and other forms of economic activity, the far-reaching constitutional and governance reforms that President Mahama has promised, the scrapping of ex gratia, the cutting down of government expenditure through severe cuts in the numbers of government officials, from ministers to other categories of government officials. We will continue to push this message so that the Ghanaian people have a greater understanding of what we are going to do when we come to power. But overall, it provides encouragement that we are right path and there are things that we are doing right.
So you may feel that, yeah, it is good, but you will not be complacent. What about your support base? Do you get the sense that they would all go with you, that, well, it is not a done deal yet? Because I remember the last time you had an NDC event publicly, the chairman warned against complacency and the people who have already started sharing positions amongst themselves. You're sure that this is not going to affect your base?
Not at all. We are aware. And as a party that has significant experience in electioneering, and a party that has won 4 elections and lost 4 elections, we are acutely aware that the most important, the most telling poll is the one that takes place on election day. And for that reason, everything we do must be geared towards securing victory. So if every now and then reports emerge that show that a majority of voters are on our side or agree with our propositions and are ready to vote for us, I think that it's not going to get us to become complacent. Also, Umaru, you live in this country, you follow politics for a while, and you do know that the pulse of the nation shows clearly that there's a yearning for change. The sort of mismanagement and atrocious governance that Bawumia and his colleagues in government have delivered was always going to lead to a situation where no scenario exists for an MPP victory in this election. Because there's no way that the Ghanaian electorate was going to reward this sort of catastrophic and disastrous governance. And therefore, it was not ever going to be tenable that the MPP would emerge victorious. Because there are governments that have lost elections with much better performance than what Bawumia and his charges have put up. And President Mahama has been clear that he wants to reset this country and put us on a more sustainable path towards economic recovery and economic growth that will trickle down to the generality of our people.
Okay, if you do not mind, I would want to hear from your colleagues on the other side what they make of these predictions, and then I'll come back to you for a wrap-up comments. Felix Kwachu for there. He's aide to former President Mahama. Let me go on the other line and speak to Dennis Miracles Abuaji. He's Director of Communication of the Dr. Baumia campaign. He's joined us on the line. Sir, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. So, Fitch says that the economy, which is not looking good, is going to cost you the election. Felix Kwachu also believes that all the signs are there on the wall. The writing is there that you are bound to lose this election. They may not necessarily be complacent, but this is like an endorsement of what everybody knows. It should shake you as a campaign, shouldn't it?
Umaru, it's only in his Felix's dream that the NDC will win an election in this country. I mean, who are they bringing? This whole fixation on the fact that, MPP could not do it, so automatically it comes to John Mahama, is the weakest of political thinking that anybody can have. And all I would say is that we're on the ground, we're engaging the people, we're having serious conversation around all the issues. We, together with the people, are agreeing on what it is that our achievements have been and how to consolidate these achievements, and also acknowledging to them what the challenges have been, predominantly on the macroeconomic front, and have very frontal conversation with them as to how we believe the way forward will be in fixing these things. And so they should continue to live in their own paradise. It's just a matter of time. Hopefully, when the elections come and the MPP beat them, like we always do, they would not say that it was telling, it was obvious. No scenario supported the fact that NPP will win. And so they do not understand how MPP has won. But I can tell you that with all conversations we've had across the country, one of the things that the people of Ghana see is that the decision or the choice is between a former president that failed woefully, was given an opportunity but completely failed to deliver, and a vice president that is giving clear-cut indication as to what it is that his plans will be as president. And so they are quite clear in their minds that the choice is not a simplified choice of MPP couldn't do it, so let's vote for Mahama. It's a choice between John Mahama, a former president, His Excellency, and then Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, a vice president who is seeking to be president, who they can trust, who they believe can deliver. You know, sometimes when we talk about the economic indicators, the NDC makes it look like the Ghanaian people, we cannot really analyze issues, and that we are just looking at the fact that, MPP, they haven't done it. And so what did Mahama do? Mahama took an inflation from 8% and took it to 15%. That's his record. In fact, Umaru, go and look at each of the economic indicators that Mahama took over as president in 2012 and tell me one that improved after the time he was leaving office in 2016. And those things will all be brought into account. But for now, we are very focused. We continue to engage the good people of this country. We are dealing with all these issues, the bad, the good, and the ugly. And then Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is giving them that hope and belief that we need to protect what we have been able to achieve in all the other sectors, which will completely beat the NDC too. And then we need to together work to pursue the outstanding things, especially the macroeconomic areas, and fix it. So they should continue to think that automatically they are in power. No problem. We shall see. We'll get there.
But you haven't commented specifically on the poll. It will demoralize your base as it is going to moralize the NDC's base. Don't you agree? And it's going to affect you in the election.
Since when? How does it demoralize our base? I am in Asamanke here as I speak to you. And the base is strongly working on the ground. Our polling station executives this evening, and that's a meeting I came to have, are engaging the voters in their various polling stations. Average of 500 voters in a polling station. They are holding the polling station album and they are engaging the voters. Nobody should sit in Accra, nobody should sit on Twitter and Facebook and say that anybody in the MPP is demoralized. Like Felix rightly said, and he's right, the election day on the 7th of December is when the real issues are determined. We have 4 clear months to election. It's a long way in any political calendar. Let's be patient and not be carried away. Like I said, if you continue to live in this whole space of NDC is automatically in power, just don't come and tell us that no scenario supported us when you see the MPP winning on 7 December.
Yeah, but because polls are scientific, and for a scientific poll to come out that way...
When was the poll done? Which month was the poll done?
Does it matter? Does it
Yes,
make
it
any
does.
difference?
It does. It does. We are in an election period. It does. If you come to me at home and you come and lie to me that your political party brought national health insurance, and I believe you because you are speaking, and then you leave, and then somebody comes to give evidence, fact, that your political party never brought national health insurance. Between the time you came and the time I received the evidence that you didn't do what you said you did, my view on issues could change. So the time matters.
Let me just, please, if you could just indulge me and stay on. Let me just hear from Felix and then I'll come back to you to wrap up. Felix Gwachofosu, so your colleague on the other line, the polls are saying so, but like the NPP consistently says, they would defeat you on strategy in this election. And so the polls may say you're going to win, but they are going to undo everything that has been done. You have spread information that is not accurate and they will fight that back. And again, the alternative is Kerry.
Omar, don't waste your time. You know, Genesis Blaster is reminiscent of what Comical Ali used to do in Iraq. When they were being routed in their hundreds, he claimed that they were talking a historic victory. In the end, we also what happened. So this Blaster about strategy, what strategy? And sometimes they speak as though they are some invincible force. Until very recently, they were the party that had tasted power the least. When the NDC won its fourth electoral victory, they had only won 2. So they have not won more elections than anybody in this country. So the facade that they present, as if they are some electoral machine, needs to be dismissed. Look, the reality is that today, every Ghanaian knows that this MPP and Bawumia have been a complete disaster. Unless you want to insult the intelligence of the electorate and let them believe that you can fail so abysmally and still get their mandate. I don't know what they are talking about. And sometimes when they speak about the economy and they have the nerve to claim that Mahama failed. Why? He was talking about inflation. He said Mahama took inflation from 8% to 15%. In any event, President Mahama actually was a man who took it to 8% as head of the economic management team. So it rose to 15%. And for that reason, Ghanaians were angry and voted against us. What do you think they are going to do to you? Who took it from 8% in 2018 to 54% last year? You think they are going to clap for you and applaud you for such a horrible disaster? At a time when we could pay our debt and services, such that the hundreds of thousands of bondholders who lent money to government receive their coupons or interest timelessly, they voted against us. But now that you have bankrupted the country, defaulted on debt payments, you cannot pay 1.3 million bondholders, they will go and vote for you. What kind of logic is this? At a time when the cedi sold for under 4 cedis, let's even say 4 cedis to $1, Ghanaians voted against us, but they will rush to go and vote for you when they are now having to cough out 16 cedis to purchase $1. At a time when interest rates were in the mid-20s, they voted against us. Now that it is hovering around 40%, they will vote for you. So what kind of logic is he espousing? How can he even look at this economy and tell anybody that this economy is better than what they inherited? This is the worst economic situation we've had since the Fourth Republic began, even if we were charitable. So, like I said, there's no scenario under which the MPP wins this election. As I told you, we are not complacent by nature. We know that when they speak about strategy, they are talking about rating. But let me tell you, no amount of rating will let them win. Look, in 2008, they did similar rating, but the margin of defeat was so wide that no amount of mathematics will save them. So let him not sit there and think that merely because he comes to claim the house strategy. Why? Does he think we are sitting down, sipping coffee or what? They are in a financial state. Does he think the house we are sitting down? When you listen to them, they tell you that Obama has been campaigning. Why? Mahama has been sipping tea. Mahama has been campaigning for 3 years straight. Obama has been campaigning for less than 6 months. So let him not think that merely because you go to some places and you have photo opportunities and you come and splash on social media, you've done campaign that has never been done before. He says that their polling station agents are in the communities. In fact, we have more polling station executives than them. We have over 320,000 polling station executives who, as I speak to you, are all over Ghana campaigning. So there's nothing they are doing in this election that we are not doing. On top of that, we have canvassed vastly superior alternatives. Our candidate has credibility, but he has outperformed anything that this government presents, sector by sector, starting with the economy. Such that today their candidate says that he is an IT person. The same person who was in opposition claiming that he knew how to manage an exchange rate, and that if the fundamentals of the economy were weak, the exchange rate will expose you. He's saying that we should applaud him for taking the cedi from 4 to 16 against $1. The same person who told us that taxation kills businesses and it leads to suffering. has come into power and imposed close to 40 different taxes, including some of fuel. And he says that he's done such a sterling job that he should be clapped for. Which sector in Ghana has improved over and beyond what they came to meet? Today, look at the debts that they have left construction sector. Look at the debts in the energy sector. And look around you. Does it look to you like this country is a country that has made any progress since the NDC left power? So when I say that no scenario ever supports any claim that the MPP will win, it is grounded. The people of this country, they have changed governments over and over and over. Nobody is going to tell them that things are right when they know that things are wrong. Look at the level of corruption that we are witnessing. Look at the level of nepotism that we are witnessing. Look at the level of state capture that we are witnessing. So what is it that makes you think that you can appeal to the electorate? Why would an electorate that has punished governments that have done far better than you forgive you for what you have done to them? The 1.3 million bondholders who now cannot lay hands on their deserved interest payments, who are now subjected to penury and suffering because they are not receiving the monies that they used to fend for themselves. Why would they go and vote for you and neglect the one who used to pay them timeously? So please, he can claim that they have strategies. Why? They can invent strategies. They can import strategies from mass. They can cook it, they can grill it, they can fry it, they can dry it. The fact is that their time is up. They have been abysmal, woeful, the very worst we have seen in our country. And they are being led by a man who has no credibility. The man who runs away from his own record. When they thought that things were good between 2017 and 2018, they were crediting him for economic management. The moment things went down south, he stopped talking about the economy. Now he cannot discuss the exchange rate. He cannot discuss interest rates. He cannot discuss debt. When he was saying that debt of 120 billion was unheard of, and that the NPP should be voted against, what was he thinking? Today, we owe over 700 billion, and he says that it should be applauded. So what do you think the people of Ghana for? Why do you think that they will make exceptions for you? Why? Because you are called MPP, or they've not seen presidential candidates before in their life. That at the moment Babia appears, they forget about everything and good for him. You see, there's a saying in Akan, Aba, the Techino, the Bar. To which the cane that was used on Techi will be applied on Bar if the circumstances are the same. So let nobody in the LDP deceive themselves that because they have the electoral commission at their beck and call and they are in power, they can use money to influence the outcome of elections after they have performed back. The only way you win elections in any civilized country like ours is to perform to the expectation of the citizens. And the citizens of this country have shown over and over again that the moment you don't perform, you are on your way out, and no excuses will save you.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us, Felix Kwachu Ofosu, former Deputy Minister for Communication and aide to former President Mahama. Dennis is still on the other line. Dennis, he says that when you say you have strategy, you actually are planning to rig. It's not as if you have any superior strategy. Your candidate is not any superior. Your policies are not any superior. And the evidence of the sweetness of the pudding is in our pockets, literally.
Omaru, I mean, go and play back all of Felix's voice in the year 2020, 2016. He spoke the same way. That's the typical Felix. And they lost. And then they came back taking Casio calculators to the courts. He should continue sitting on radio. He should continue sitting on Facebook and Twitter and putting out these things. As for the issue of Reagan, just rubbish it. It makes no sense. The fact of the matter is that the reason why Ghanaians will not use the Techi bar to hit bar is because there's no bar. You are not bar. As at the time we're coming into election 2016, your bar that was used on you was not with the former president. We know your scorecard. You failed abysmally. You speak about nepotism. Go and ask how UT Bank collapsed. Go and ask who bought UMB, United Merchant Bank. Go and ask how almost all our bauxite was handed over to the former president's brother. He speaks about corruption. Just yesterday, the former president and his family has been mentioned again in an international scandal. And this becomes the third international scandal that the former president is mentioned in. So you should continue to sit on TV, radio, and social media and just speak the same way he spoke in 2016. Like I said, election is not about Techi and Bar. There is no automatic transfer of power from one government to another abysmally poor government. It doesn't happen that way. Fortunately, the people of this country have an opportunity to measure correctly, clearly, with a proper skill, whether the former president deserves our vote or not. And I can tell you, the woman whose daughter was left at home between the year 2012 and 2016 because she has no money to take her to school, will vote against former President Mahama. The woman whose daughter was in the colleges and was using nursing and teaching allowances to go to school and she didn't get, will vote against former President Mahama. The medical doctor and the nurse who was asking for better conditions of service and the former president told them that he's not ready to negotiate with them and went on to tell them that he has seen so many strikes that strikes don't mean anything to him and he's almost like a dead goat. They will vote against him. The people of this country that the former president and fellows them put in a green book, that they've constructed so much roads, unprecedented roads in this country, only for them to realize that it was just in a green book, would vote against them. The people, the numerous Ghanaians, millions of Ghanaians, who dropped off their national health insurance because they had collapsed it and the health insurance scheme was completely broke, for which reason we lost close to about 1.5 million Ghanaians earlier on the scheme. And now we have 6 million Ghanaians more coming on the scheme, would vote against him. And so it is so easy an election that it is not funny. What is left is how we are now going to present the scorecard to the people of Ghana for them to take their decision. But Felix will be making one of the gravest mistakes in his political life if he should think that this election is just an issue of Techi and Ba, and it's just an automatic issue of you haven't done it, so I am giving to this person. That would be the biggest mistake. And he should not continue to live in this fool's paradise, only to show up on the day of election, the next day, see the results, and claim that the elections have been rigged. Nobody can rig any elections in this country. He has said it before. The former president himself, his boss, has said it before. The way our electoral system is set up, is impossible for anybody to rig an election. We will beat the NDC simply because they have presented a former president that failed completely to improve on any of our indicators when he became president. And in as much as the people of Ghana recognizes that we've encountered challenges between the year 2020 and 2024, they ask themselves questions. You took us from 1 and all the way to -5. Somebody has taken us to 1, from 1 to 2, and hasn't been able to get us to 5. Why should we give it to you? And that is one of the things that is going to drive the decision-making of the Ghanaian voter. And Umaru, like I told you, we're on the ground, we are working. Ours is to continue to engage the people. It is just a matter of time.
Thank you so much.
Interview.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. As Dennis Miracles Abuaji. He's Director of Communications of the Baumia campaign. Earlier you heard Felix Kwachiofosu. He is aide to candidate Mahama in the 2024 elections. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are coming to you from our studios in Adabraka in Accra. We are also around the globe on citinewsroom.com. We'll take a break and return with more. Please stay.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Let's do a little more politics, Eno, shall we?
Yes, we shall. The flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, says the New Patriotic Party's claim of having performed better than all governments, including that of the first president of Ghana, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, is an indication that the government is oblivious of the economic mess they have created. He argues that the government should focus on resolving the country's current economic challenges. Speaking at a mini Durbar as part of his working visit to the chiefs and elders of Labaulishi and Passam in the Ayawaso West constituency, John Mahama said the NPP government should fix the economy and refrain from making empty promises.
You know, but the dangerous thing is, when you're ill and you know what is wrong with you, it is halfway towards a cure. If you're ill and you know it's malaria, you're halfway towards curing yourself of malaria. If you're ill and you know it's typhoid, you are diagnosed, you know it's typhoid, you are halfway towards getting the cure. Unfortunately, the people who have caused this economic crisis do not even realize there's a crisis. Because when you hear them say they are the best government and that even Nkrumah doesn't come, it shows that they don't even understand the situation in which Ghana is. Because if they understood the situation, we're still 5 months to an election. There are urgent measures that they can take to ameliorate the situation. You don't go saying, vote for me, and when I come, I will do this. You can do it now. You say you rationalize taxes. 5 months to an election, you can rationalize. It's enough time to rationalize taxes. All the promises you are making, you have enough time to start implementing them right now. And say, no, vote for me first, and then I'll come and do it. What they did in 2016, they can't do again.
You heard flag bearer of the NDC, John Dramani Mahama, still on the flag bearer. He says the next NDC government will address the accommodation challenge on the various university campuses. According to Mr. Mahama, his administration will partner with the private sector to build hostels to accommodate students. Addressing students of the University of Ghana, the NDC flag bearer noted that the many challenges within the country's education sector will be addressed if the NDC wins power in the December 2024 elections.
When we were in school, our total student population was 6,000. And our lecturers were about 3,000. Today, I hear this university is 70,000 students. That is huge. And you're facing so many challenges. And so we held a discussion with the Vice President. And we discussed many of the challenges you're facing. And one of the major challenges is the accommodation issue. And so I want to assure you, one of the focuses of our new administration would be to partner with the private sector to build more hostels on campus. And so we've had a discussion with the Vice Chancellor and all that, and we know what the major issues are. And the issues do not pertain only to tertiary education, but also secondary and basic. And that's why we suggested that when we come into office, we will have a conversation about Ghana's education and see how we are able to raise enough funds both for tertiary, secondary, and basic education. We cannot work on only one policy and only one segment of our education. We must have a good experience as students from the basic through secondary right up to tertiary. Each aspect of education is important. And so how to fund tertiary education so that you have a good experience when you're in school is something that is important to us. We have a very good experience of when we're in school. We have great memories of when we're students on this campus. We want you to have that same experience when you come into campuses like this.
John Dramani Mahama is NDC flag bearer. Now, findings from Afrobarometer's flagship report on democratic trends in Africa reveal that most young people are not satisfied with democratic governance in their countries. The report, which was conducted across 39 countries in Africa, showed that the youth were currently facing a disillusionment with democracy, with the youth per the survey falling between least rejectors of military rule and least preference of democratic rule. Speaking on the sidelines of the launch of Afrobarometer flagship report on democracy, Director of Surveys at Afrobarometer, Boniface Dulani, explained that most young people were tilting towards this view as a temporary solution to the failure of civilian leaders. He says this issue raises much concern since most young people in this generation have not lived under military rule, hence are unaware of the associated dangers.
It shows the high levels of disillusionment with democracy. But at the same time, most of the youth have never experienced military rule. So they might be looking at the military rule and say, okay, democracy is failing, let's try military rule. But if you've lived through a military regime, you might know that, okay, as bad as democracy is, it's certainly better than those kind of governments. So we are seeing really a generational issue here, where a generation that has never experienced it, they might think, maybe this is something worth trying. So the youth, and indeed many citizens, because you see that about 53% of African citizens are telling us that if governments are failing, ignoring the law, are abusing office, then the military should step in to clear that and they clean that up. But at the same time, you see that the same results are showing that many people are still rejecting military rule, even though the numbers have been declining, but we still see about 2/3 of the citizens on this continent saying we don't want military rule. So what this tells us is that the military rule is being looked at as an option to clean up the mess when the civilian leaders have failed or indeed are blatantly ignoring the law, breaking the law and the constitutions, then they're looking at the military as a temporary solution, not a permanent solution. But
you heard the Director of Surveys at Afrobarometer, Boniface Dulani. Now, development economist and research fellow at the Legon Center for Social Policy Studies, Dr. George Dumfe, is warning that Ghana's economy will continue to stagnate if political parties are not made to adopt the National Development Agenda. At a meeting with members of the National Development Planning Commission yesterday, President Akufo-Addo posed calls for political parties to abandon the manifesto system and rather adopt a national development plan. Speaking to City News, Dr. Dumfe, who doubles as one of the consultants for the creation of the NDPC's Vision 2057, says Ghana can only progress if political parties are made to adopt the plans in Vision 2057.
What we are likely to see is what we've been experiencing in the past, where Party A comes, they do what pleases them, Party B comes, they do what pleases them, and in the process we are stagnating. The economy doesn't create jobs. And there's always hardship, and our youth are always running away through the desert to get to Europe. And so if we want to be where we have been, then we should continue to do what is pleasing to our political parties. Because you cannot do the same thing every day and expect new results. Now, if we want new results, you do new things. And the new things are that the National Development Agenda that is seeking to get elsewhere, and it is feasible if you look at the terms and conditions that we set for all the variables. They are very achievable. We have the medium term, we have the short term, medium term, and the long term. And so by 2050, 57, if we're able to do what is right in the short term, we will get to the medium term projections, do very well there, and by 2050, people will run from Europe to this country. That's what Ghana that we are looking for.
Dr. George Dumfe is a research fellow at the Legon Center for Social Policy Studies.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Yeah. We have a new leader in town. Obiarenti. Amanfo. Madam was Sibebre. When him say my baby, maybe more charcoal for whiter teeth. More charcoal. Not only that, maybe lemon. More lemon. Zinc for fresher breath. More zinc. And fluoride for stronger teeth.
Introducing the new President Charcoal Pack with more power with a combination of charcoal and lemon for naturally whiter teeth. Grab yours now. This advert is FDA approved.
Are you a builder, contractor, or homeowner with a passion for quality? Look no further. At Yale, we pride ourselves in trusted security and quality hardware for doors. Visit our showroom on 11th Lane Street in Accra, Ghana, and discover the world of Yale door hardware handles and locks. At Yale, we understand your need for security and the desire for elegance. Our products not only protect your loved ones, but also add a touch of sophistication to your home or business. Whether you're renovating your space or crafting a new masterpiece, Yale is your trusted partner with a history of 180 years of innovation. Come on down to Yale today. Experience the perfect blend of security and style with Yale. Yale, where security meets style.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Google me. At what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, they make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
Go.
Yo, Pana. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. Let's do some more stories. Members of the Rotational Nurses and Midwives Association are threatening to picket at the Health Ministry due to the ministry's failure to address their concerns, which include a 12-month delay in payments and lack of employment clearance. They had previously expressed their grievances, including staging protests and petitioning the ministry on April 16 to push for their demands. Despite these actions, the association claims the government has not taken any corrective measures. Additionally, the rotational nurses and midwives said the current economic situation in the country is exacerbating the difficulties they face and are therefore calling for immediate government intervention. Jasper Jocha is the Public Relations Officer for the Board of Trustees for the Rotational Nurses and Midwives Association.
These are not monies we are begging for. These are monies that are due us. Most of our people are dying. Just recently, about a month or two ago, we lost one of our colleagues, Kolebu, because she couldn't afford medical bills. It's pathetic. Even if you are a rotation nurse, you are a service person, and you are sick, even in the facility where you are working, there is no medical cover for you. Our demand is that we need our financial clearance as soon as possible for us to be paid, because 12 months unpaid allowance, we have completed and we are home. Our seniors are home. Our seniors are home. We are joining the third batch at home, and being at home without our allowance, we've toiled, we've sacrificed for this country, working on empty stomach. We've bled. Most of our members have attracted stomach ulcers, out of the service we are rendering to the nation. I would say this is wickedness at the peak. Is it dialoguing? What is it? Even demonstrating, we have demonstrated. So if this is not wickedness, how would you describe this one? We are saying that if money is not paid to us, we would come out and picket massively. Like how our pensioners picketed at the Ministry of Finance till they heard something. We also keep doing that.
Jasper Jocha speaks for the Board of Trustees for the Rotational Nurses and Midwives Association. Now, the Member of Parliament for Wa Central, Dr. Rashid Pelpo, has criticized the Akufo-Addo government for its silence on the serial killings in Wa in the Upper West region. Residents of the area have threatened to bar politicians from campaigning in the area if the government fails to take decisive action to stop the killing after several years of no arrests. In an interview on Citi Breakfast Show on Citi FM, Dr. Rashid Pelpo expressed his disappointment and frustration with all authorities, including the president, over their perceived lack of concern.
I can tell you there's no assurance at all. The Interior Minister, who was also from the region, did not give us any concrete assurance. The new Interior Minister has not given us any concrete assurance. The government has not made any announcement or shown any concern. The president has said nothing. It does seem like it's a normal occurrence that happened. This whole thing started from Tachiman, moved to Wa, went to Bole, came back to Wa. No pronouncement has been made as to how we can tackle this situation. It does look like, well, it is your concern, handle it, but our police are around. That's the impression I'm getting. But there must be a pronouncement by the Interior Minister right now. There must be a pronouncement by the President, show of concern by the President or his Vice President. None of it is happening. And I think that that's the nature of the government we are seeing now. Remember the 8 people killed in in Tachiman. So now no government, no powerful statement is made at the presidency.
That was the Member of Parliament for Wa Central, Dr. Rashid Pelpo. A mason said to be in his early 40s has died in Seria in the Ashanti region after a 2-story building he was working on collapsed on him. The mason, identified as Kweku Jemfi, was working with his 18-year-old assistant at the time of the incident. Eyewitnesses indicate that the building, owned by his brother-in-law, had initially been started by another contractor before being transferred to the deceased to complete. Prince Kwame Aduchum, the assembly member of the area, has confirmed that the body has been retrieved and deposited at the morgue.
After noticing the cracks, they wanted to construct some new pillars to support the structure
but unfortunately, the building started falling off and eventually collapsed on him.
Prince Kwame Aduchum is the assembly member of Saria in the Ashanti region. Now, police in the North Tongue district of the Volta region have arrested a man who allegedly killed a herder in Alabota near Dofo. According to Che Azieto, the assemblyman for the area, the suspect, identified as Seleji Doche, inflicted multiple machete wounds on the herder for confronting him over the death of his cattle. Seleji Doche was arrested after community members fished him out from his hideout. Speaking to City News, the assemblyman said the suspect is known to be mentally unstable.
This morning around 11 a.m., I received a call from one of the elders at Alabota that a Fulani man was murdered at Alabota. So I rushed to the scene and I inquired more about the murderer. So they said the murderer, whom I know very well. So according to sources, the father was asking the suspect why he has killed the animal. And then he started inflicting cutlass wound on the poor animal. So the son has to run to the house and go and call people. Before they came back, he killed the man. And then he removed part of his head. We reported the case to the police, and the police came around to make a search. We searched the whole vicinity, but the police took the body to the morgue for further investigation. Because I heard about 3 different stories about him, including attacking his own senior brother.
That was Assemblyman for Alabota in the North Tongue district of the Volta region, Che Azieto.
Let's talk about Greater Accra Region NDC now. And we are told that the regional chairman, Ashimo, is facing some challenge within his own party. His members asking that he should be removed. A petition, we are told, has been sent to the party at the national level, outlining a number of quote-unquote sins of Honorable Ashimo, who is the Greater Accra Region chairman of the NDC. Let's speak to Mustafa Gbande. He's a Deputy General Secretary of the NDC in charge of operations. He's joined us on the line. Sir, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much and good evening to our cherished listeners. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. We are hearing that your party in Greater Accra Region is boiling over your chairman. What does the party know at the national level, and what steps are you taking in dealing with the matters there?
Well, it's very simple. A group of women have written a petition to the National Executive Committee. As we are aware, the flag bearer is in the
Most your line is being dodgy. I don't know what you can do about it.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, please.
So the General Secretary, who is the coordinator of our general campaign, is also in the field, the national chairman, same. They are yet to be properly briefed on the matter. However, today we also heard of same women doing a demonstration. We have taken notice of all of that. We believe that it's not anything strange that could not have happened. At a certain point, there will be leadership disagreement.
Mustafa, I'm losing you again. Hello, Mustafa?
Can you hear me now, Maru?
Yes, it's better.
Yeah. MPP people have been sabotaging my communication these days.
Oh, how? Where is this? You're saying that in jest, right?
No, I'm serious.
What do you mean?
They control all the systems. So once you are saying something that doesn't favor them, they prevent you from making advance.
I just finished speaking to the aide to your flag bearer. His line was as clear as daylight. No one interfered with that line. He's an aide to the flag bearer.
Yeah.
And you are national officer.
a deputy general secretary.
So what? National officers of NDC have been sabotaged? Is that what you're saying? Your communication has been...
They cannot sabotage us. They can try, but it's not possible.
So you're just making a wild... No. Don't proceed. You see, I thought you had said it in jest. I would have let it go. But if you make something like this on a national platform, unless you say that...
I have, and several times, whenever I'm trying to grant an interview, my phone either goes off or my line gets bad. I've experienced it several times.
And your
and I've investigated what the cause is. Why is it that the network doesn't get interrupted until I'm going to grant an interview?
And they told you that... They told you
the network systems are not controlled by the NDs. It's controlled by government functionaries, appointees of government, who are MPP people.
State institutions. So you
won't blame a state institution if your network is not functioning properly?
No, the way you are blaming it, you are not blaming a state institution. You are...
So I'm blaming them now. I'm holding them responsible for interruption in my network.
And
I pay for it.
So you should hold the MNO for poor quality of service. But the moment you bring...
You can apportion the blame, but I will hold an institution responsible. Let them go and hold the service providers responsible.
So you said that you conducted an investigation and you were told that it was deliberate, that you were being targeted?
No,
Is that what you were told?
I am told that it's interruption.
And it was deliberate? That's what you were told?
Why will you interrupt anybody's call?
No problem. Were you told that it was deliberate and targeted at you? Were you told that that was exclusive to you?
Will anybody who interrupts it ever say it's deliberate?
Can you just answer the question? You did the research or you did the investigation. Were you told in the investigation that you, Mustafa Gbandi of the NDC, your line was being targeted and that anytime you're conducting an interview, someone presses a button that makes your voice...
Why is it that the network I pay
No, what about why? No, don't say network. You said MPP, so I want to deal with it on that level. Were you told that the MPP...
Well, are you a spokesperson to the MPP?
If I were a spokesperson to the MPP, you meet me at the Asylum Down office of the NDC, not MPP, not at the Adabraka office of Citi FM. Now let's get back to the serious issues. You have made a claim, and I'm asking you, when you did the investigation, did the investigation say to you...
When I finish the investigation and pinpoint a particular individual, I'll do it.
You haven't finished, but you've already concluded that it's
I haven't finished, but I know that my network is being interrupted.
So you are telling an untruth when you said what you said?
No. Somebody is controlling the network.
Of course. Somebody controls the network.
If my network is being interrupted, I will point it to the person who controls my network.
The SIM card that you use belongs to a network provider.
They don't regulate themselves.
They don't, and they are not regulated by the MPP either. They are
regulated by government. Who is in government?
When your party was in power and you were in government, were you interrupting the call conversations of NPP members when they speak?
If you ever have anybody who experienced that, you can mention. But I am experiencing it.
No, I'm just asking you, did you do that when you were in office?
I don't have that record.
But you have the record that is being done against you, which record...
But I know that my network is interrupted.
You suspect...
Somebody is supposed to be the regulator, isn't it?
You suspect. You have no evidence, so you're just throwing
I'm not suspecting. I just told you my network was being interrupted.
Is there any other member of the NDC at the national level, a national executive, who is going through this alongside you?
It is not a conversation yet. When it becomes a conversation, we'll raise it fully.
Very well. Let's go back to your beleaguered Greater Accra Regional Chairman, Honorable Ni Ashimo.
It's not anything strange, as I was saying.
40 women writing to say that he's not fit to be there. That's very strange.
No, that's not strange. Every party goes through some of these difficulties. So if you go to the MPP, they have mechanisms for addressing internal conflicts. We do also have mechanisms to address our internal conflict. When they do arise, what you can count upon is that this current leadership is fortified to take decisions that will deal with it squarely. Because we cannot have a party that is having indisciplined officers and officials. And so when the General Secretary is properly briefed, and SEC is properly briefed, and leadership is properly briefed, wherever the axe might be, the party would put the axe there. And if it is a matter to reconcile, the party will do so and will proceed. In 2015, in the MPP, a regional chairman was murdered with acid, even that they won election. In 2015, it was His Excellency Nanado, one trip, one casualty. Anytime he travels out of Ghana, there was a casualty in the MPP. They still won election. They sacked their own national chairman, general secretary, prior to election because of internal conflicts. Ghanaians at the time believed that they could give hope to them. So they continue to vote for them. So if you see any internal conflicts around the NDC, it is nothing too serious, it's not too strange, it will be dealt with.
We have been
according to our laws.
We have been told, and indeed we've seen a video in circulation on social media, that the flag bearer sent a senior member of the party to make peace between the Greater Accra Regional Executives, the chairman on the one hand and another block of executives on the other, and that this person who was sent, an intermediator, was chased out of the meeting by Daniel Ashimo. Can you confirm that to us?
I cannot confirm that, but I do also believe that that would have been a very applaudable commitment from the flag bearer to try and acknowledge that there is an internal conflict which would have to be dealt with and to send people. But I do not know whether it happened or it didn't happen.
Let's leave it here. Thank you so much for speaking to us. Mustafa Gbande is Deputy General Secretary of the NDC. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Eno.
The chief of Nahinso, Nana Adobuaman, has for the second time been arrested by the Asukwa Police Command to assist with investigations after he was accused of filling a wetland in the area. The chief claims his action is to prevent flooding, but NADMO and GridCo officials argue that the area is a wetland and the chief's actions could have long-term repercussions. However, Nana Adobuaman, before his arrest, defended his actions, insisting that he filled the area and portions of the bad road with sand.
The intention is that, you see, I told you earlier on that this is the problem that I came to inherit. It's not something that was created by me. You understand? On record, I came to meet all these buildings here. You understand? When this thing has already been created, and upon the complaints that have been coming from them, I told them that, look, I can't sit down, and the right place for me to go is to see the assembly. I've been there not less than 8 times. So you don't have any approval, but you chose to do it? I've been there not less than 8 times. You understand? So I thought that there's something that I could. Initially, my play was, he should even help me with an excavator to come and clear the waterway. You understand? And he told me emphatically clear that I should go and see the assembly member. Even after the time that he was telling me, somebody within the assembly told me that these people, they've just been elected. They have not been even inaugurated yet.
Chief of Nahinso, Nana Adobuaman. Ashanti Regional Director of NADMO, Frank Diodu, ordered the arrest of the chief, insisting he has no right to fill the wetland.
It's rather unfortunate that the chief himself has taken powers into his hand and deciding that no one can do anything and there is nothing that anybody can do. You bear witness where we stand. It's a total wetland. You can see from both ends that even the stream or the banks of it have been encroached already. This is Oda stream, where 4 years ago, for 4 good solid days, I had not even taken rest. When it overflows, it banks. And it's a serious stream. It's not just a stream. Other tributes of streams joins this order. And the attribute to it and how it does act is dangerous. This is what he's doing. He's digging laterite from a pylon to fill this very wetlands. At the end of the day, we don't know what he seeks to achieve. There he's telling us that he is failing in order to stop the flood situation that is going on here. But that is not the case. People have already encroached the banks of the stream. That is why it rains, then the rain catches them up at that level. So at the end of the day, the steps that we are taking is, this time around we are picking him for the second time, and we make sure that all the necessary laws and what he needs to follow will be adhered to and the right thing being done.
Ashanti Regional Director of NADMO, Frank Dudu there.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Oh, jump on now. Go, me. At what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. protector. And what they boss my mind self be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
When you want to eat, just Momo it. Tired of the long queues in the supermarket? Pay with Momo. When you really want that beautiful new blouse, just Momo it. When you want to get a trim and get fresh to impress you know who, just Momo it. When you need to pay your utility bills and domestic staff, Shani Momo. When you want to send love to the family back home, send some Momo. Join the millions of MTN Momo users all over Ghana and live life the brighter way. So just Momo it. MTN.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the whole family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. City Business News. Be informed.
Time now for City Business News on Eyewitness News. My name is Inosafa. Let's settle for the details. The Bank of Ghana has successfully raised 1.5 billion Ghana cedis through the issuance of its 56-day bills auctioned at an interest rate of 28.9%. Proceeds from such auctions will help manage liquidity and provide short-term funding for the government.
The auction, devoid of disclosed bid values from primary dealers and lacking a stated target, underscores the central bank's efforts to manage liquidity within the banking system. Central bank bills are pivotal to open market operations, serving as a critical monetary policy instrument for regulating money supply. The BOG's issuance of these short-term securities is a deliberate maneuver to fine-tune financial system liquidity, ensuring stability and exerting control over inflationary pressures. The 28.9% interest rate highlights the BOG's monetary policy stance, reflecting broader economic conditions and the central bank's strategic intent to influence market rates and control money supply. It also signifies the BOG's approach to mitigating inflationary risk and stabilizing the economy amidst prevailing economic conditions.
That was a News Desk report by City Business News' Neteli Nete Ajaho. Now, stakeholders within the agricultural sector are raising concerns over the sustainability of the government's flagship program, Planting for Food and Jobs. An assessment report on the PFJ Phase 2 indicates that majority of respondents are worried the program would be cancelled by the next government after the 2024 elections. We have more on this as well as the overall assessment of the program in the following News Desk report.
Despite somewhat as successes shocked through the program, persistent challenges such as high cost of production, low yields, and persistent food inflation continues to hamper progress. A recent study by the Peasant Farmers Association of Ghana shows that 56% of farmers were pleased with a revision of the PFJ Phase 1 to PFJ Phase 2 by the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, MOFA. 24% of respondents expressed concerns regarding the frequency of policy changes within MOFA. The report also revealed several critical barriers to agricultural development in Ghana, including excessive taxation on agricultural inputs and equipment, inadequate irrigation systems, as well as limited access to affordable financing and post-harvest losses as some key issues hampering the growth of the agricultural sector. The majority of respondents raised issues regarding the sustainability of the program, fearing it will be cancelled after the 2024 elections by any winning party. The research also recommends a long-term policy and investment plan that is devoid of political interference led by technical technical directors within MOFA. As a way of addressing the concerns, the research also recommends active private sector participation in policy formation and project implementation.
That was a News Desk report by City Business News' Nashika Caesar. Now, telecommunication operators have admitted to intermittent disruptions in mobile services over the last few days. Some customers are complaining about poor voice calls and data services, which is affecting everyday activities and business operations. Telecommunication giant MTN, in a message, for instance, to customers, attributed the outage to significant network upgrades in the Greater Accra region to improve service quality. MTN apologized for the inconvenience caused and promised to resolve the issue in the shortest possible time. Away from that, the Institute for Energy Security is demanding government action on boosting the operational capacity of the Bulk Oil Storage and Transportation Company Limited in the 2024 mid-year budget review. The energy think tank is additionally pushing for the scrapping of some taxes, including price stabilization recovery levy, amongst others, to reduce the cost of fuel owing to the recent surge in its price. Research analyst with IES, Derek Hache, spoke to City Business News.
We have BOST, which is a strategic reserve for the government. Are they expanding their tank farms to be able to store enough crude or petroleum products for any period that is not convenient that such product can be released onto the market? They are not efficient in that. Temari Refinery continue to lie idle and not able to refine any petroleum product. Assuming Temari Refinery is working, you don't need Forex to be able to go and import or, let me say, take crude or petroleum products from Temari Refinery. You need cedi. So the cedi would have equally been strengthened, and then that continued depreciation of the cedi would not have been experienced. So you can look within, and then some of the taxes in the price build-up more or less insignificant. Now you can take them off. The price stabilization recovery levy, the BOST margins that people continue to pay, and BOST is not making any judicial use of it, and then the special petroleum tax. All these ones build up, or let me say, add up to the price we pay at the various points.
Derek Hache is research analyst with the Institute for Energy Security. The Association of Ghana Industries has expressed concerns over the bi-weekly review of exchange rates at the port of entry implemented by the Bank of Ghana. According to AGI, this policy, which dictates the calculation of foreign exchange for clearing goods, has had a significant impact on the cost of doing business, contributing to inflation and affecting the broader economy. President of AGI, Dr. Humphrey Ayim Dake, called on the Bank of Ghana to consider extending the review period from every 2 weeks to every 90 days.
Are also impacted by the bi-weekly review of exchange rate at the port of entry via the Bank of Ghana policy on the forex management at the port of entry, which computes into the calculation of the forex for clearing of goods. This has significant impact on our cost. It has inflationary tendencies and has cascading effect on the debt of the economy. It's our prayer that the Bank of Ghana will review this said policy to a 90 days instead of 2 weeks every other week. Thirdly, traditional banking institutions.
You heard President of the Association of Ghana Industries, Dr. Humphrey Ayim Dake. And that's all for City Business News on Eyewitness News. My name is Inusafo. Up next is Point Blank.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Attention, facility management professionals. Get ready for the event of the year, the IFMA Global Africa Conference in Ghana, August 1st and 2nd at the UPSA Auditorium, hosted by the International Facility Management Association's Ghana chapter. This is your chance to meet the world's top FM experts, thought leaders, and innovators. Immerse yourself in groundbreaking keynotes, interactive panels, hands-on workshops, and unmatched networking sessions. Explore the future of facility management in Africa's booming built environments. Don't miss out on the epic gathering of minds and ideas. The IFMA Global Africa Conference, August 1st and 2nd at the UPSA Auditorium. Be there. Proudly sponsored by Fides Group. To register or to sponsor, please call 0558 368 544.
One of the best decisions you can possibly make at the start of your day is to tune in to the City Breakfast Show. Insightful, intriguing, intelligent, and informative. The City Breakfast Show offers an attractive alternative to the noisy mishmash of morning radio. Tune in to the City Breakfast Show for passionate discussions on issues that matter and enjoy interviews where duty bearers and decision makers have their feet held to the fire. The City Breakfast Show airs from 6:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. every Monday to Friday, only on 97.3 Citi FM.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
We're talking about the People's National Convention and its newest offshoot, the People's National Party, PNP. The PNC has gone to the Electoral Commission, praying the electoral management body to prevent the PNP from receiving a certificate. The reason is that, well, let me hear the reason from the PNC. David Apasara was flag bearer of the PNC in 2020, the elections. He's joined us on the line. Sir, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you.
Someone has decided to mobilize and form their political group, which they want to have a certificate for, so they become a political party. You have gone to the EC saying that should not be granted, the request. Why?
Thank you, and good evening to your cherished listeners. Well, the truth about it is that everybody knows, and it's common knowledge in Ghana, that PNP was the party that Dr. Hilary Liman led and won power to rule the Third Republic. And PNP, however, was proscribed in 1992, the time that political party ban on political parties were lifted and political parties were being formed. But at that time, because PNP remained proscribed, there was no way Dr. Liman would have resurrected PNP. So all the members, all those who were members of PNP came together and then decided to form PNC. Now, it was at that inaugural address, Dr. Hilary Liman called on all PNC members to defend the image of PNP and the performance of PNP in the Third Republic. So from 1992, all members of PNC, we knew that we made very good reference to the rule of PNP. And even our publicity committees, we have a lot of the booklets that they were publishing at the time. In fact, one is very copious with PNP in retrospect, and underneath it is PNC and its symbol. So all along, that has been our belief, and that has been our propaganda. And we refer to PNP performance within the 27 months, and we think that PNC is going to pursue that, and we say they will. Now, if you go and take that very PNP, and you come and register it now, and we have used that name and published that name alongside our activity. What you are trying to do is to let everybody think that that is the old PNP that we are proclaiming is we are coming from. And who is going to be able to differentiate that this current PNP is different from the PNP of 1979? And that means you are going to confuse the electorate. And our members are being confused daily. They call to us. Because even when they were going to launch their party, they said they had decided that the neck of PNC had met and decided that they should pick PNP and leave PNC, which was in fact a lie, because at that period of time that they were declaring, they had no mandate to call a next meeting of PNC. And even if it had been earlier, they couldn't have decided together to resurrect PNP, and they were still with us in court. So after the court had decided, then they come together and say that they are a neck of PNC, and they have agreed that they should leave PNC and then take and resurrect PNP. And they have been going around all the regions. If you call our regional constituencies, the chairman, they have been going to all of them, telling them that they have decided that it is PNP and no longer PNC. And they call to ask us, and we tell them to, ignore them with the contempt that they deserve. But we think that we cannot just sit back and look at that, because it's going to sort of hinder our propaganda or change the trust of our arguments when we are talking about the past and the present. And so we think that if they are interested in actually forming a party, it should be devoid of trying to make it look like if you belong to PNP, you belong to PNC. It can't be so. That is deception.
Okay.
And should not confuse the electorate too. So electorate, when they are coming in to vote for their party, they should be clear this is the party that these new group of people have formed. And this is the old PNC that was launched in 1992 by Dr. Hilary Liban. They should know that. And that's why we have said the Electoral Commission should be restrained in giving them a final certificate.
The question would be, if you really loved your old name, the PNP, you still refer to it, why didn't you, change the name when you had the opportunity? You sat on your rights, someone has taken the name, now you're whining.
Yes. The truth is that we never anticipated anybody coming to use the name that we've been using all along and talking to people about.
And someone has played a smart one on you. You should just simply sit down and whine. You cry. You've been outsmarted.
Yeah, but you see, you don't take undue advantage of people in an area of democracy. If you want to really project your party and your principles and so on, you must be distinct. Our issue is that no political party should come and try to confuse the electorate and mislead them. In democracy, people must be properly conscientized.
Very well.
So that you know where you belong.
Okay.
There shouldn't be deception to mislead people.
Mr. Pasara, if you don't mind, I'll be grateful that you stay on the line. I want to hear from these persons you claim are misleading Ghanaians. I want to hear from them and come back to you. So if you don't mind, kindly stay on the line for me. That's David Apasara. He is leader of the People's National Convention. He was the flag bearer of the party in the 2020 elections. Let's speak to the person that leading this new party whose name they don't want given to. Janet Nabla was secretary of the PNC, broke away and formed the People's National Party. The logo has a palm tree. Remember that the PNC has a coconut and the motto, my family, my community, my motherland. Janet Nabla, you're welcome to Eyewitness News. The accusation is that you have stolen the property of the PNC and you're parading it and claiming that that's a new PNC. That's thievery almost.
Good evening, Omar Sanda, to you and your listeners this evening. I've heard, I think he's the leader of the PNC talk, and everything we do in this country is about law and order. You see, you are talking about somebody stealing your PNP. And he couldn't even give you historical antecedents of the party, how the PNC came about. You know, in 1992, when we went into the Fourth Republic, political parties sprang up. And the Nkrumahis wanted a political party to run. They decided that, and you know, by then the CPP and the PNP, they were banned. So they all decided to pick the PNC. Later on, some of the people who were in the PNC, they broke away and went and then got the name CPP. It is saying that we shouldn't exist. Then the CPP should not exist. The people broke away from the PNC. Listen, Ghanaians are all aware about this information. He was trying to shift the information to an angle, or maybe he doesn't understand the historical, the history behind what he was saying. The reason why the CPP came about was because some of the people in the PNC, they broke away and went and to court. And the court released all political parties that were banned in the Third Republic and said anyone who wants the name can use it. And that is how come the CPP were using it. In fact, the CPP did not only use the name, they used the colors of the PNC, red, white, green, the same colors of the PNC. They are both social democrats, both the PNC and the CPP. And I never saw anyone going to court against the CPP. So all what he's saying is a non-starter, and that we went to steal their people. Do we look like people who will steal people? From where? You don't have anyone, and you say they are coming to steal your people. The reason why you went to court was to become a king. When you became a king, then your kingdom moved away. All the people moved away and left you. So now you have no one to rule. Let people, Ghanaians, know that is the headache you are having and the sleepless nights. That you don't have anyone to rule. Because the people you were coming to rule on have moved away from you. And ever since we moved away, we've never turned back. In fact, you've seen our party colors. We are using black and burgundy. Burgundy also means wine. So we are not using your party colors. Our motto is my family, my community, my motherland. Your motto is Ayabe. We are talking about our ideology being communitarianism. Your ideology is social democrat. We are our party symbol. You will see that we are having the, but it is sitting on the chieftaincy stool of the southern sector. At the back of that stool is the northern chieftaincy symbol, which is the king. So we have nothing, and we have description of all these things, and the Electoral Commission is having access of everything. So I don't even know why it is election period. People are looking for policies that they can bring to be able to convince Ghanaians to vote for their parties. And someone is going around soliciting for lawyers and things. You see, the only advice I have for him is that Ghanaians are going to see that he is the aggressor. Because people thought that we were those causing him. They never knew that he was the one who started suspending us. They never knew that he took us to court for 4 times or 5. And we have never done that. We have never fought him. And that is the truth. God said we should tell the truth. We have never thought of him. when you see us fighting, he's the one who starts it. You see, he will start talking, and when I talk, he will send me to court for defamation of character. Then when we go to court and let the judge know that he was the one who went to the place to insult me and I retaliated, then he will run away from the court. So please, what I'm saying is that, Mr. Apasara, work hard with your PNC. Trust me, we have nothing in common. Our party symbols and things are different. The truth is that we don't want anybody from the PNC who love it to come to us. That is the truth. We don't. Because we know the challenges of the PNC. And when you have a new party, you will want to work with people who are, who love, how do I call it? Who love the truth, transparency, have integrity. Those are the people who want to work with. And believe you me, those who love the PNC now cannot qualify to be under that bracket I've just mentioned. So please, we are not interested in your party, the PNC.
But Janet, their founder is Dr. Hilal Liman. His party is PNP. Your founder is not Dr. Hilal Liman. Your founder is called Janet Nabila. Why would you be using the name of their founder's party? Well, once again, and also knowing that that's their antecedent, you're using just give me a second. Let me just land with my question. The antecedent is the PNP. They claim everything to the PNP. In fact, when they go to campaign, they say to people that when PNP was in power, just 27 months, they've done so well, so they should be given the chance again. You should have brought something innovative, a different name.
The truth is that Liman never founded the PNP. That is the truth. You are a student of history. Liman never founded the PNP. We all know. The PNP was founded by Imoro Igala. He was just brought in to become a flag bearer. For instance, Akasara is never the founder of the PNC. He is just brought in to come and become a flag bearer, and that is all what he is. In fact, the NDC now, they have a different, they have John Mahama. John Mahama being a presidential candidate doesn't mean that he's the founder of the NDC.
So would you reconsider?
Never the founder of Liman.
Would you reconsider changing the name, or you go to the EC and fight this?
No. Why will we fight? The EC is looking at the merit. There is no merit in what he's saying. The EC is looking at the merit, and at most, he should go to court. And if the court gives him the decision, then he should come back. You understand? So we will not change it.
Okay.
The PNP was never founded by Liman. That is the wrong history he's trying to portray.
Very well.
Anyone who wants to fight us should have been the CPP, and not you. Because Liman was never the founder. How can you go and fight for something you don't own? It's not because your name is Apasara.
Let's leave it here. Thank you, Janet. Thank you. Just Janet Nabla. She's the founder of the new party PNP, whose name the PNC is contesting. Let me finish with David Apasara. He's on the other line. You never owned what you are claiming. That's the words of Madam Janet Nabla. In a minute, why should the EC listen to you?
I haven't come again.
Janet Nabla says that you never owned the name anyway, and so you have no case. You can go to court for all she cares.
Okay. Well, fortunately, that's why we have our lawyers. Our lawyers are well armed and prepared to take it to any level. And I believe that at the end of the day, this might be a case law that will govern our idea of formation of political parties. For me, I believe that political parties are formed if you have a real clear message or ideology or whatever to share with the electorate. You go straight and form your party. PNC has never quarreled with anybody over that. Dr. Hassan Ayarika broke off and formed his party, APC. PNC had no problem. And I think that if they had gone ahead to form their party with a different name, without this kind of confusion that's being settled, nobody bothers. We have people, she's saying she hasn't, they don't talk to people. And I have people here, if you call them now, they will tell you they have called them. They have called them. It's all over. They call me and tell me. We are not bothered. But the truth is that people must be clear. They should know that this is not PN. This is a PNP. And so the confusion that is going to be created is what we want to avoid. I think that if they are interested in really getting at the Ghanaian electorate, we should be very distinct and clear and different.
Very well.
That is the best.
Thank you for speaking to us. That's David Apasera. He was the PNC flag bearer in 2020 and currently the leader of that party. Earlier, I heard Janet Nablash is leader of the PNP. Both of them have some palm in there. If you look at the symbol, palm front or palm tree for the new party PNP, coconut for the PNC. My name is Omar Rusanda Amado. I did this show tonight with Eno Safo. Production led by the three duo, the three men, two men and one woman who always support me on this, Wilson Kobna and Sami Wiafi, as well as Beverly London. And the technical support from Daniel Squashy, new media support from Edwin Kwakofi. We'll be back tomorrow at 17:30 GMT. Thank you for listening. Have a good night.